What's going on, guys? Chris here from the Tactical Outdoorsman, and today we're going to take a look at my Glock 19. This is a Gen 4. We're going to look at all the modifications I have in here, how much they costed, and where I got everything from. So stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Chris here from the Tactical Outdoorsman, and today we're going to be talking about the modifications I have in my Gen 4 Glock 19. A little history about this handgun. This was the very first handgun that I had ever purchased. I purchased it about 4 years ago when I got my pistol permit. Here in the great state of New York, it is illegal to handle a firearm, let alone purchase one, without a valid license. So as soon as I got that license, I ran out and I grabbed myself this Glock. So let's talk a little bit about what I have in it, why I chose it, where I got it from, and how much I paid for it. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the outside of the firearm. So first thing I want to talk about is my choice of a light. I chose the Streamlight TLR1 HL, which is the high lumen version. This light, I believe, puts out approximately 1,000 lumens, and for the price point, I don't think that you can get much better of a light. This was at about $110, and I got this off of Amazon. It's pretty adorable. I've had it on here. I keep it on here even when I'm training. It has not gone out. It hasn't failed. You've got an on and off switch over on the right side here. Down is constant on, up is temporary on, and up twice is a strobe. And you can see that the light is very bright. The reason I decided to pick up a light for my handgun is because I keep this handgun in my nightstand for security purposes. If I do need to use it at night and I'm waken up by an intruder in the house, I do want to see what I'm going to be shooting at. If it's not a threat, I certainly don't want to shoot it. So having a light on your handgun is definitely a good option. There are more expensive options out there than this, and there are cheaper options out there than this. This was just, to me, a happy medium and something in the middle ground that didn't break the bank. And I'm not trying to spend all my money on my guns either. So I'm trying to keep as much money in my pocket as I can, and I'm trying to spend a little bit of it to add small upgrades where I think it's valuable. So consider taking a look at the Streamlight TLR1 HL or the Streamlight TLR1. And there are also different Streamlights available, but choose your flavor. This is what works for me. Alright, let's get this light off the gun and talk about a couple of other things. Alright, so the next thing we're going to talk about is my grips. I chose the Talon grips. So these are the rubberized version. They're relatively inexpensive. They're about $18 on Amazon. You just kind of wrap them around and heat it up a little bit, and it adheres to your grip. Initially, I did not purchase this. I only purchased this maybe about a year ago, and the reason I purchased it is because, if you can see, I decided to go ahead and modify the frame of my gun. I went ahead and I sanded the grips off of here because I did not like them. I shaved down the angle of the back of the grip, and I removed the finger grooves from the front of this grip. I also added an undercut, and after I did all that, I went ahead and I did some stippling on the bottom of the trigger guard and all around the handle. So the reason that I put these grips on was because the stippling was a little bit too rough when I wanted to carry this on me, and it would be rubbing up against my skin, and it was relatively uncomfortable. So I went ahead and I purchased these grips and solved that problem. That's the whole reason that these guys are on here. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the trigger that I have in this guy. This one is an Arsenal Democracy trigger. I put it in back in December 2017. It cost me about $170. Got very good reviews, and I like it very much so. It was on back order. It took several months to come in. I figured, let me just go ahead and wait. We'll see if it really is that good. And to be honest with you guys, I love it. You can see it's got the, regular safety on the trigger, the way that the factory Glock does. And the trigger pull, let's take a look. Okay, let's see that again. get through the safety. Boom, breaks. All right, let's take a look and see if we can get a reading on this trigger pull. Okay. Whoop. All right, that's breaking right around 4 pounds. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. And that one just under 3.5 pounds. Let's go one more time. And that one about 3.25 pounds. So it looks like just depressing the trigger safety is throwing the measurement off a little bit. Also with where the trigger is sitting on this bar, whether it's down at the bottom or towards the middle. So, you know, right around 3.5, 4 pound trigger. So I like it very much. You know, you got a little bit of creep. You hit your wall and it breaks. So I love it. And then let's see the reset. So let's see the trigger. Break. And your reset. Right there. Break. Reset. Okay. Here's the take up. Wall. Break. Okay. All right. There you have it. All right, let's take a look at what else we got on the outside. You see the slide here? Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy, guys. This is just a Brownells slide. It is cut for a Trijicon RMR. I decided to go with this option because it was budget friendly. It was only about $169 when I purchased it, and it was way more cost effective than going out and milling my stock slide, so I just grabbed it. It's good enough for me. It has everything that I want. It has my cut for my RMR, and it has my front slide serrations, and that is really the majority of what I was concerned with. So once I got this slide, I went ahead and I purchased my suppressor height sights and my RMR. These suppressor height sights are the AmeriGlow, the 3 dots in white with the tritium inserts, which I chose so that I can see my sights in the nighttime should my red dot ever fail. So let's get on to what I have on the inside of this guy. Let's go ahead and break it down. All right, set that aside. All right. All right, first things first is I have an NDZ titanium plunger. Okay, so that is a little bit dirty. I haven't cleaned this in a while, but I purchased that just so that the action is a little bit smoother and the trigger pull is a little bit lighter for me. I also have an NDZ Performance stainless steel guide rod, standard weight. I didn't change anything there. I just wanted to have a little bit of extra weight in the front of my firearm to help control the recoil and reduce the muzzle flip. So I purchased that guy. It was about $35. And then I have my Wheaton Arms stainless steel barrel. This is a match barrel. The main purpose that I purchased this was because at the time I was starting to reload my own ammo. Outside of reloading my own ammo, I was also starting to think about casting my own bullets. And if I wanted to cast bullets through my Glock 19 for range practice, you cannot do that with your standard Glock barrel. Your standard Glock barrel has a rifling that will collect the lead and cause malfunctions. So I wanted to go with a aftermarket barrel that was capable of shooting lead bullets, my regular round nose bullets, my home defense bullets. So I went with the Wheaton Arms, which is an excellent quality barrel. The barrel is quite dirty. I haven't cleaned my Glock in some time, but it is a excellent barrel, very accurate. I have not had any problems out of it. So I've put about 5,000 rounds through this handgun, and with the modifications that are in it, and I have no malfunctions ever. I have not had any since I've had this handgun. So, be it as it will, this is my setup. Maybe you can use it to judge what it is that you want to put into your Glock and how you want to modify yours, but this is what I have, and it works for me. Alright guys, so that's my Glock 19. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.